Joe is our youngest child, and he's now 19 years old. And Joe is a member of our family that's had disabilities. We've had a really rough time with having Joe included and being treated equal, which brought us to AACL.
ACL was kind of like a backbone in that they helped my family branch out and point my family in the right direction to help Joe.
What I've appreciated about the AACL organization is that they came into our school with Joe and his parents, and they helped with the transition for both the school and for Joe in terms of this is who Joe is without having to take a year to get to know Joe.
Joe's been a rewarding experience for me, but I gotta say I had concerns when he was first put in my class. Social 20 class last year with, I want to say there were 35 kids. I foresaw problems, worried about how other kids would relate to him, whether there'd be people making fun of him. But one is that I learned that kids are very accepting. I just think it's been a real blessing for me to have him in my class.
He joined football in high school. He was really excited to be out on the field.
As time went on, the students got familiar with him, he got familiar with us, and he started to work himself into the drills, and the players were encouraging him and talking to him. And from the time he started, where his aide would have to basically lead him through or push him through the drills, to the time he graduated this year, he was doing the drills himself.
The coaches learn how to include him more, and they were pushing him to do more. He had opportunity to play in the games. He went on the road trips with them on the buses and everything, and it was just such a wonderful thing for him to be out and about and included with a group of young men his own age.
When he first came out, we saw only barriers, and we didn't see the possibilities. And by the time he was done with us, he'd made believers of us, and we'd looked at it and realized that there's a lot of solutions and possibilities out there if you are willing to take the time to look for them.
And a quote and a saying from Joseph: "Don't worry, be happy. Everything is going to be all right."
Peter studied education in the junior high for the 1 year. Then the teachers thinking he is not good English enough to catch the regular program. So he said maybe he need ESL. So he sent to the other school for ESL, study 1 year. Then ESL teacher said, oh, I don't think he can catch, so he should to go to the special education. Peter come back to home to ask me, Mom, why you send me to this class? I just feel very sad. I said, what's wrong with Peter? And Peter, he's not happy every day. So I told the teacher, say, I would like Peter to go to the regular program. Then she didn't answer anything to me. Then I go to the disability apartment of school. Then I talked to the lady. Then she didn't answer me. Then I phoned them again. They didn't pick up the phone again. That's not my English program. That is, I don't have a power. So I talked to the parent, and they said, oh, right now you should to let the ASL support you. Bruce phoned the school with the principal. Then everything is done. Yeah, principal give me answer that Peter can study regular program.
If you ask me after high school, thinking of going to university, or is there a possibility of going to university, we wouldn't know. Like me and my parents, we wouldn't know without ACL support.
I'm so happy today we have this chance. Peter can, learning in the Grandma Queen.
Nathan had told me that there was a student who was really interested and passionate about student governance and getting involved. The rules really were kind of murky on having students who weren't maybe fully enrolled in full-time studies or in as many classes as they needed and so forth. I had to talk to other board members and I talked to my other executives and say, you know what, we have to make a decision here and say, are we going to make an exception here? Are we going to set a precedent? And I advocated to say, you know what, let's set that precedent and we'll appoint Peter to the board. And I think he's made me a better person, really.
What it had done for me for the past 6 years, really honestly, thank you so much, AACL.
Heather graduated from William Aberhart High School. Then we began to look for other possibilities. My wife found out about the inclusive public post-secondary education program that the University of Calgary was operating. And that program is one that was begun by the Alberta Association of Community Living through their support and lobbying efforts. She's always had this interest in art, and through the Alberta Association for Community Living and the Rotary Employment Partnership Program, we discovered this possibility with Fort Cat Studio.
My business partner and I both jumped at the opportunity to interview Heather and to welcome her onto our team. So Heather, one of her jobs is she cuts all these little teeny papers and she stamps them. Doesn't she do a good job? She works for us as a studio assistant and she's learning all the time new skills that she can do. We have a list of things that we're hoping that she'll grow into. Thanks, Heather. Spinner operator extraordinaire. I found the AACL to be completely accommodating as far as providing her the support she needs to get training and the time it takes to make that all happen. And we're proud of the fact that our students who come into our art studio get to interact with people of all abilities.
We think that this situation at Fort Cat, it's a great environment, and we're looking forward to seeing what else she comes up with in terms of her own personal development.
How does your job make you feel?
Happy. I'm thankful for the work that the AACL does and for the opportunity I get to be a part of it, and I hope people are generous to keep it moving forward.
AACL does a tremendous job in advocating.
The AACL are amazing people. They're here to make everyone included in life and show that everyone is valued.
People need to be given that chance and then they'll flourish.